Hey guys, we're going to be making Greek yogurt today. This is going to be super fun. We got this recipe from Autumn Bates. In the description of this video, there's a link to a blog post, and we have Autumn's video embedded there. Her video is well worth the watch. But we're going to be using the same technique that she teaches us there. And it's a very simple process. We're going to take this half gallon of grass-fed milk, put it into a cool crock pot, and then we're going to turn it on low and let this go for about 2.5 hours. We're effectively pasteurizing the milk. And I know what you're probably thinking is, isn't it already pasteurized, and don't we prefer live unpasteurized whole milk? And that is generally true, but in this case, because we're making yogurt, we want to make the initial milk be pretty much inert. If we leave the bacteria and even though it's positive, good bacteria, if we leave that in the raw milk, it will compete with the yogurt cultures that we're trying to multiply within the milk. So we'll pasteurize the milk for about 2.5 hours on low. At the end of that time, we'll turn off the crock pot. We'll go ahead and take a 1/2 cup of yogurt out of the fridge, and we'll let this warm up to room temperature. We'll let the milk cool down to room temperature, and that will take about 3 hours. At the end of that, we will mix it.
Of all colors, lazy golden, string feet up to a double, he waterfall over my head.
And now that we've inoculated our milk with a culture, we will let that go for about 18 hours. We'll wrap it with a towel, keep it insulated. But then we'll let that ferment for about 18 hours. At the end of that 18 hours, we will then have yogurt. That should be a whole milk fat yogurt. But then we will take that yogurt and we'll strain it, and that's how we'll make it Greek yogurt. This is a 1 gallon Greek yogurt maker. And by maker, we mean apparatus to strain it. So basically we make our yogurt, pour it into here, this fine mesh strainer, and then the whey will drain out and collect at the bottom, and then we will have Greek yogurt. Woohoo! We do have some fresh cheesecloth. I don't think we'll need it. I think this will be perfect. All right, guys, it's been going for about 17.5 hours, and my only concern is our furnace is broken in the house, so it's pretty cool. So we're going to check it and see if it looks like we're turning into yogurt. Yeah, it's starting to thicken up, but it's still very thin. I think we're just going to let it go longer. We'll check back in a couple hours. So we're about 22 hours in now, and I may have underestimated the coolness of the house. With any fermentation or spreading of cultures, the reaction needs to be able to generate and retain some degree of heat. Some species of Lactobacillus are excessively sensitive to the cool, like the families of Lactobacillus that we use in vegetable fermentation, like when we make our pepper sauce. If you put that in a refrigerator, the fermentation will effectively stop, and it ultimately will kill the Lactobacillus. I'm just going to let it keep going. It looks healthy. If we have a active culture in our Oikos yogurt and no other organisms took over, it looks like it's just going really slowly. So we'll check back in the morning and see how it looks. So we are about 34 hours in, and it's thickening up, and it's looking good, tastes good. So we're gonna let it keep going. Okay, it has been 42 hours. Let's check this out. Let's see. Oh yeah, that is thickened up so much. It's really creamy. Still pretty liquidy. I would really love it to get more solid. We're gonna let it go a little bit longer, but then at some point we'll just call it. And if it's this thin, I'm gonna blend it up and just drink it like a yogurt drink. And we'll start over on the Greek yogurt effort. So all right, we'll check back in a little bit. All right, we're about 46 hours in, so whatever state it's in, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the strainer, and then we'll put it in the fridge for 8 to 18 hours and see what happens. Come back in a few hours. So our yogurt has been draining for about 18 and a half, maybe 19 hours. And we're gonna go ahead and process it as it is. It looks like it's thickened up. It is thickened up a decent amount. So we're gonna go ahead and process that yogurt out here. We do have some whey water, which I think is really more lactose water than whey water. But we'll talk about that later. But I'll go ahead and get this processed out and then we will give it a taste. Actually looks delicious. This quote-unquote whey water, it really is like a milk and it looks so good. I'll give some to the cats, but I'm definitely going to drink this. And I think the yogurt came out really nicely. It's a little creamy. I'm not sure how much lactose strained out, so I don't know if this would really be considered a Greek yogurt or if it's got a little more lactose, a little more sweetness than that. But it looks delicious. I'm going to go ahead and put it into jars and we'll start giving it a taste. So let's give this first batch a taste. Oh, it's real good. It tastes like yogurt for sure. It's probably closer to Greek yogurt than sweet yogurt, but I don't think we got the full fermentation from straining it. I was surprised how thick it got, but of course the refrigerator helped thicken it up. And this whey water is more like a thin milk. It looks like a skim milk, but we know it's got lots of sweetness to it. So, you know, the reason I keep talking about whether or not I'm going to use the whey water or give it to the cats or whatnot is I'm doing experiments with different macronutrient balances. And lactose is a disaccharide. It's a glucose molecule associated with a lactose molecule, where sucrose or table sugar is glucose molecule associated with a fructose molecule. So I'm not sugar-free. Like, you know, I will drink lactose. Part of the point of the Greek yogurt is to remove as much of that lactose as possible, remove that sugar to avoid the insulin response, and for anyone who's sensitive to glucose or lactose in general. So we'll see. I'm gonna treat this as like a yogurt drink, but I'm gonna expect that we can eat some sugar out of it. With this whey water, we'll definitely drink some. We'll definitely give it to the cats, see if they like it. So let's see what the cats think of the lactose whey water. So far, they're not touching it. But this is delicious, for sure. So I promised you Greek yogurt, and we still want that. So let's see, today is Thursday the 8th. Saturday the 10th, we're gonna go ahead and start a batch of Greek yogurt. The house is no longer freezing. We got the furnace fixed. So we're gonna go back to Autumn Bates' recipe, and hopefully our timing should be more appropriate, and we should get a fuller fermentation earlier. So if we're gonna make this a Greek yogurt video, the video's not over yet. Stay with me another 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Yeah, this is much more Greek when it comes to yogurt. It tastes delicious. Let's go ahead and summarize the 2 batches we made. And again, the big difference is the temperature of the house. And so we got much more of a ferment, but let's see how it turned out. I want to use the Hacking Ultra website to walk us through it. If you look in the description of this video, you'll find a link to a blog post where we outline the production of this Greek yogurt and we find some of the background information. Let's take a look at it. As the heading implies, this blog post covers our homemade Greek yogurt as well as a Greek yogurt-based chia pudding that we made a few weeks ago. And the first table provides an overview of the process you just saw, where our 18-hour ferment took 46 hours, and we still did not end up with a very heavily fermented yogurt, but it did taste delicious. The second table describes our second batch, which went much better since we did get the heat fixed in the house. So first we started out, we went to Sprouts and we got our new yogurt culture and another half gallon of milk. Do you know why the yogurt is so expensive at Sprouts? Because it's worth it. I'm not here to extol or disparage Sprouts or Whole Foods or the retail food industry in general. I'll do that later. But for now, if you were looking for a variety of choices in dairy, especially organic and grass-fed, you could do worse than Sprouts. Take Nancy's for example. We're looking for the whole milk yogurt, 41 billion live probiotics in every serving. The keyword we're looking for is live. It's a product of Eugene, Oregon, pasture-raised cows, no GMO, certified organic. One of the very interesting historical facts about Nancy's is that it comes from Springfield Creamery. Many people have seen the Grateful Dead concert footage from Springfield Creamery. This creamery was a family farm of Ken Kesey, and many credit the creamery and particularly that fundraising event for kicking off the yogurt movement in America.
The end of the 60s and early 70s when the natural food movement was starting. The counterculture was looking for new things and new ways of eating and new foods. Chuck's brother Ken Kesey was very well known in the counterculture community, and the association of Ken with our creamery made what we were producing, which was yogurt. That was a very positive thing for the initial acceptance of our product into the market, because there was this connection. Our association with the Grateful Dead came through Ken as well, as he knew them and consequently we knew them. And in 1972, we were really pretty broke. It was really pretty remarkable actually that we had survived this long. Let's see if the Grateful Dead will do a benefit concert for the creamery. And they said, sure, we'll come up and do a concert.
What you're doing is moving out in the middle of the field and building a town. And it's a hard thing to do. A creamery is good at doing it because it does so many things. And we could do that. We had the biggest attendance of anybody that Oregon had ever had at that point. And we didn't charge enough money. One of the other problems we had is we had all of our friends tending all the musicians. And as soon as the band struck up, they just dropped their thing and left. We left 5,000 people standing out there, and they had to let them in free just because of that. Whoops.
As it turned out, the concert was quite a success and is quite documented and well-known and kind of a historic musical event. We did get enough money to get us over that hurdle, and we did a number of concerts with the Grateful Dead. That one was 72. We did another one then in 1982 at the same location, and it was also quite highly attended and quite successful.
So I think we'll go with the Nancy's whole milk yogurt. And for the milk, I think we're going to stick with the Maple Hill Organic Whole Milk. Then Saturday, December 10th at 9 a.m., we started the pasteurization of the milk. It is Saturday, December 10th at 9 a.m., and you guys know the drill. We will put the half gallon of milk into the room temperature crock pot, plug it in, set it on low, and come back in 2.5 hours. Then we began to let the milk cool and the yogurt warm. Saturday, December 10th, 11:30 a.m., and we will turn off the crock pot, take out a half a cup of Greek yogurt to warm up to be our culture, let the milk cool down for about 3 hours, and then we'll mix them. And ultimately that Saturday at 5 p.m. we combine them. All right, it's Saturday, December 10th at 5 p.m. I think it's been about 6 hours instead of 3, but I think our milk and our yogurt culture should be at the same temperature. We'll combine them and come back in 18 hours. This time we were much closer to the 18 hours of fermentation. Of course, then we put the yogurt into the strainer and into the refrigerator. It is Sunday, December 11th at 1 p.m. So it's been about 20 hours of fermenting. Let's go ahead and get this into the strainer and into the refrigerator. All right, we'll let it strain for 8 to 18 hours and we'll just check back on it. And then finally we packaged it. It is Monday, December 12th at noon. The yogurt has been straining for approximately 22.5 hours, and we're going to go ahead and get it jarred up. Below that table, we have a picture of our awesome yogurt maker. This is Autumn Bates' video that we used as the basis for our procedure. Definitely highly recommend Autumn's channel. I'm not sure exactly her credentials, but she's a coach and a nutritionist. She's extremely knowledgeable. She deals a lot with intermittent fasting and keto diets, but she provides a lot of great information and awesome recipes. Then we have some other videos, like what we can do with the whey. Here we have 10 uses of leftover whey. Mary's Nest is another one of my favorite YouTube channels. She has incredible recipes, again providing great information. One of the things we can do with the leftover whey is make ricotta. Now I don't think we're going to do that in this case, and we need a little more to make it worth it. So if and when we make another Greek yogurt, we'll probably make a couple gallons, and so we come out with a ricotta. Some of you may have seen this Hacking Ultra short, and it's one of those unnarrated kind of video montages with cool music. But we made this chia pudding. It's actually based on another video of Amanda Bates. And you use milk and Greek yogurt and chia seeds, and you let it sit overnight. And as the chia seeds get hydrated, they form this gel around them. So the milk, the chia gel, and the Greek yogurt make kind of the pudding consistency, and then we put some natural vanilla and some pink Himalayan sea salt, but then we sauteed frozen blueberries in ghee and used that as a topping, and it was delicious. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I had a good time. I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make milk kefir. I don't know that we'll always maintain yogurt and kefir, but I want to try everything at least once, and then we'll settle in what we want to maintain. Another upcoming In the Kitchen episode, we're going to make homemade mayonnaise. We're going to make it 3 ways, with bacon grease, with butter, and with bacon grease and butter together. I've already received one question, and that is, does it have to be cow's milk? Or can you use something like goat's milk? And the answer is yes, you can use goat's milk. Anything that you would drink the milk of, you can make yogurt from.
Oh yeah, you can milk anything with nipples.
And speaking of cats, I didn't get any footage, but they do like the whey water. I don't think they like it cold, because each time I give it to them, they seem to let it warm up. But about an hour later, I come back and it's gone. So thanks again for coming along. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for episode 11, Eating for Metabolism. It's our big nutrition episode, and it's going to be loads of fun.
I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone, gone. I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone, gone. Gonna miss your baby from rolling in.